you're setting yourself and your family up for failure. Okay. And so the company that we're going to be talking about tonight, this company, Build Network, I really and truly love the idea, the concept, love the vision of the company, so much so that I came out of retirement to do it. Okay. I literally retired 3 years ago, as of a month ago. And um, it was just one of those things that say, you know what, it makes so much sense. You can help so many different people. And, my wife and I, we've had a measurable level of success where we've made millions of dollars in three different industries. And I'm not saying that to impress you, but to impress upon you that we know what great opportunities look like. And the one thing that I loved about this opportunity that kind of separates it from the other ones that we made millions of dollars in is this, as we can communicate and articulate what we do in this company, and anyone who wishes to participate with us, guys, they can do so, without recruiting anybody. They can do so with the understanding and the comfort of knowing that this is not network marketing. They can do it, with the understanding that they can make a six-figure or multiple six-figure income on a very part-time basis, again, without recruiting. They can do it on their own merit. And so, with that being said, guys, just make sure you have something to write with, something to write on, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of the information and that I was looking at when I made my decision. And so, and I do appreciate my co-host for making sure the lines stay muted. And so, build your mindset, build your business, build your career, and build your net worth. And when you look at what we're building this on, guys, it's a platform, a high ticket brokerage platform. Like I said, no network marketing. And this is like direct sales on steroids with a residual component attached to it. And so when you look at high ticket sales, the first thing came to mind when I first heard of high ticket sales is that somebody's going to sell me a credit building program or something like that. And this is not that, guys. This is a situation where the four verticals that we participate in, guys, are verticals that people who are billion dollar earners and multi-million dollar earners, these guys are participating in these industries, right? As they say, success leaves clues. And when you can actually get on the same track of people who are making the type of money that you would love to make and make the same decisions that they're actually making, but I guess on a level that you can afford, it only makes sense for you to do so. Okay. So when it comes to business and why building a business right now is the best time, and the most important time to do so. Right now, what you're going to see in the next 30 to 60 days is a lot of companies are going to be doing a lot of cutting back. They're going to be doing a lot of laying off, a lot of right sizing, downsizing. And it's because they don't know what the impact of the next president is going to be, right? They don't know what laws are going to be passed. It's a lot of things, a lot of things that they are unfamiliar with and they're scared of. And this happens every 4 years. Go back in time, 4 years, 4 years, 4 years, you'll see, doesn't matter who the president is or who the president becomes, there's always a massive layoff. There's always companies cutting back to make sure that they can weather whatever storm that they may be facing. So if they're cutting back to make sure they're preparing and getting ready to take care of themselves, guys, you should be loading up. This is the best time for you to go ahead and start to diversify and bring on other streams of income. Because regardless of what happens, if the company that you work for decides to cut back, cut jobs, downsize, and everything else, guys, you're going to be left holding the bag. And you're going to be the person that to blame at that point in time because you were not prepared. Remember, corporations that are out there in business, they do business for them and their grandkids, right? They don't make decisions based on you and your longevity with the company. You have a contract with that company to be there as long as you want to, till you quit or till they terminate you. And so that's the thing. Take your matters into your own hands because nobody's coming to save you. Okay. So when you look at the doom and gloom that's out there, this stuff has been happening and it's going to continue to happen. Okay. And it's happening for people who are not prepared. Okay. It's happening for people who are employed. Okay. But they're under earning, people who are going through those things we talked about a moment ago, also unsuccessful business people. Okay. And so if you see people going through debt crisis, layoffs, bankruptcies, recessions, and stuff like that, guys, just know that there's things out there to help people, right? And right now, what we've done is just take what's been out there helping people and put it on steroids. Okay. So when you look at Uber, Etsy, Airbnb, Shopify, Amazon, all these companies, DoorDash, all these companies are there to solve a problem, right? And if you look in the dictionary, the definition for entrepreneur is a person who solves a problem, right? And so the problem that they're solving is twofold. The problem is, one, how can I stop the bleeding, right? And put a person in a position where they can make some extra income and become a band-aid for the individual, right? And help them make enough money that one, they're happy and they're relying upon it, but not so much that they can save and quit one day. Yeah. And at the same time, I do it for so many people that I make billions of dollars. As that is a business model that is becoming more and more the norm. Okay. Multi-sided platforms and platforms like these. Right. But now you have a gig, again, like I said, that's like no other gig out there, the gig of the century, right? Where a person can turn around and say, hey, I don't need a part-time job. I don't need to drive for anybody. I can make one sale. And I'm gonna talk about what type of sale that is. And that one sale can carry me for the whole month. As a matter of fact, that one sale may actually make me more money with one sale than I do the whole entire month on my full-time job. So if I'm thinking about getting a part-time job, why not just, partner with Bill? Okay. So when you look at the businesses that, my wife and I, have been successful in, we were taught by people who were extremely successful on how to evaluate companies. And most people, quite frankly, don't know how to do that. Being a lifelong employee for most people, and then also having the courage to strike out on your own, go out there and do business, but also fail. Guys, we just want to keep it simple. We just want to make sure that when you're evaluating companies, that it checks these bullet points, these boxes. Okay. This is what you look for. Industries with a big target market and low market penetration. Essential goods and services like gas, electricity, and water, right? And industries that will thrive in good and bad economies. Right. So when you look at all the three industries that my wife and I made millions of dollars in, one was real estate. Everybody needs it, good and bad economy. Two, coffee, right? Big habit, and it's the most consumed commodity out there outside of water. And then investing, guys. These are all timeless things, right? These are always going to be things that people can benefit from. Here, I came here because when you look at the things that we're going to be offering, guys, they check all of these boxes as well. Okay, and so when you look at, let's see here,
This is
the verticals. Okay, look at these verticals, guys. So when you look at one of these like you have one of these verticals, guys, you can make a flat out fortune on your own, yeah, and on its own, on its lonesome, right? When you look at solar wind, residential solar through Freedom Forever, and also Encore commercial as well. So we actually have a partnership, puts us in 50 countries around the world, commercial, and a partnership in-house that puts us in 36, states around the United States of America, rather. And so when you look at solar, guys, it's again an industry that you do one deal a month, guys, and it really puts you in a position where you don't need a part-time job. Like, you're able to do a deal, guys, and it can range anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 for the commission, right? And so you're not going to clock in on a second job. Matter of fact, some of you guys may be quitting your major job if you're doing one or two of these a month consistently. Okay. There's no need to give your job 40 hours a week for a fraction of what one deal will do. Right? Then you have the water, guys. The water industry is a real big industry, guys. We have Rain H2O is our company. We just launched it in September. And, the people who we partner with when it comes to our manufacturer, guys, I want to share with you something that nobody else can really boast and say. The people who manufacture our actual machines, they are the people who brought alkaline water to North America. And so the machines that they actually gave us hydration and alkaline as well. And when you look at the people who have been around selling water forever, and we looked at our competition and realized it's not going to be hard to beat them. One, we got a higher quality machine for half the price. And we guess what, guys? We actually, when it comes to commissions, these are the commissions. It's not $200 to $300 per sale like our competitors. It's $1,000 to $2,100 per sale. We want to make sure that we don't just come in and put people in position to win and be healthier with their water. We want to come in and put people in a position where they can dominate selling it. Okay. And then when it comes to security, guys, Brinks, ADT, these companies been around for a long time, and people are making $500 to $700 a deal, and people are doing two or three of those deals a week on a part-time basis, real easy money. Now, we do have one that's coming, and people are really bugging us about it. We probably should have never said anything about it to begin with until we actually got ready to launch it. But January 2025, our portable military grade security is coming, basically to the forefront to the industry, and we'll be the only ones having it, the only ones selling it, right? And it's called Ripple, right? And so we're talking about a device that doesn't need any hard wiring. You can take it from one location to another. And in regards to what the location is, it's simple as this. Anybody opens a door or opens a window while it's on, and that thing will go off based on the pressure of the room changing. And guess what? The criminals leave, the intruders leave because there's no way for them to turn it off. They don't even know where it's at. Okay. And so the other thing about this, for those of you who have wives or women in your lives that you care about, daughters that are going to college, know this. Okay. They can take it to their dormitory room, and which a lot of things happen on college campuses. Somebody intrudes a room, that's going to go off. Going to protect your daughter. If your wife or your daughter's working late at a location and they lock the doors, guess what? They arm it. Anybody walks in there, it's a problem. That's going to go off, right? And so I just want you guys to know that that Ripple system is going to change the way people look at security, but other thing is going to change the way you make money because not only do you get a chance to set up and make a front commission, you also get residual income on the back end when it comes to the monitoring. And speaking of residual income, we have our Smart Money Club that our CEO, Winston Navarro, really put a lot of thought in. And this guy, when I say he's not just here to help you make money, he's here to help you sustain it, scale it, grow it, diversify it, and leave a legacy for your loved ones. Okay? But let's talk a little bit about our flagship service, guys. Our flagship service is solar. Okay. And when you look at how we position ourselves in this industry, guys, we did so, one, knowing that the market is wide open, knowing that out of the 90 million homes that are eligible for solar, 85 million of them need it, right? Only 5 million have gone so far. That number is rapidly increasing every day. Guys, imagine being in the industry and you're selling in an industry where just last week, okay, over a 7 day period of time, 497,000 searches were done on the internet to find a solar installer. People are looking to go solar. Whether you think that it's the truth or not, go do your own research. Hit your AI on your WhatsApp or go and Google it. Guys, the truth is what it is. Men and women lie, numbers don't. And the world is going right now, the world that we live in is going solar. Okay. We look at California since 2020, guys, it's a little bit more evidence that, solar is where we're going. They passed a law saying you can't even build a house without having solar on it. Okay. And in 2035, you won't be able to buy a motor vehicle that operates on gas in California. As a matter of fact, they're looking forward to getting rid of everything when it comes to selling anything and everything that operates on gas, in the future. And when it comes to California, and that's going to go and permeate into other states, guys. So again, just know this, people are going to go solar with or without you. Okay. At some point in time, you don't want to be on the back end of going solar because when you do all of these, benefits that you see here, that these people are putting out here for you, there's a lot of those will be gone. Okay. When you look at the opportunity just to save up to 50% when it comes to your energy costs, that's amazing in itself. But we've been seeing maybe 30 to 40% on average. Okay. Then 0% down, when it comes to various financing options, right? And as much as low as 3.9% actually. And then when you look at the fact that a person who may have an old roof who wants to go and going to go solar, a person with an old roof, if they qualify for a solar, they have an opportunity to actually get the price and cost of the roof into the solar financing. Okay, guys, one-stop shopping, still 0% now. That's a great way to do this. Yeah. And if you're off mute, if you go ahead and put yourself on mute, I appreciate it. Okay. Blackout protection, guys. A lot of storms on a regular right now. Houston, one of them. We had a big storm a couple of months ago where almost 3 million homes in Texas were without solar. And when you look at the big freeze we had, guys, the big freeze we had, we lost, but 44 people lost their lives in that freeze because when they lost their energy, they didn't have heat, they didn't have electricity. They didn't have anything to keep them warm, right? And it was a bad thing, hypothermia. So people over in Florida, Carolina, all these people, they would have had a backup battery when they had solar, right? They wouldn't have had to worry about, losing electricity. So fast forward today, my wife and I have it on our house based on we understand the value of it. One, having it to go from a what we call, ownership versus ownership, because we want to go ahead and own our electric company that sits on our roof one day, not have to pay electric bill, but also just making sure our family doesn't have to move around and jump through hoops when the lights go out again, like everybody else. Tax credits, guys, receive a tax credit of 30%. Make sure you get with your CPA. They'll tell you if you qualify for it. And if you qualify for it, but you can't use it, guess what? The actual banks can, and then they will take it, they will use it, and drop your bill down even lower. Okay. Immediate increase in home value, 4 to 5% per Zillow, right? And kind of some of the reasons why it's going to be a little bit lower when it comes it's going to increase is because when you actually buy a unit for your home and it's paid off, guys, someone's buying a home with no light bill. That's one. Two, let's say you have to sell a house, 5 years or 10 years after you go solar, and you still may have a payment left on it if you hadn't paid it off. Well, guys, that payment is still been locked down since you actually got the unit on your roof. So whether it be 5 years ago or 10 years ago, that home's electricity is locked in and is still lower, maybe 2 or 3 times lower at this point than your neighbors. So that's going to give the house value, right? Clean energy, yeah, we want to make sure that we're using clean energy because again, it's the pollution and everything else that's around us where we're dumping this stuff at and how we're creating this stuff. It's not good for us and our family. Okay. When I told you that people were going solar and they were going solar at a rapid rate, in 2022, someone went solar every 44 seconds. And in 2023, someone went solar every 39 seconds. Okay. It's not a game, guys. So 25-year production guarantee, our guarantee is the best in the industry. Obviously, not just because we give you the 25-year warranty on the parts and the material. We also give you a 25-year production guarantee, right? We guarantee power, guarantee return loss of savings, guarantee production. So they're putting their money where their mouth is, and it's because as if they don't, they have to reimburse you. So it's going to be a great job up front. And the company that we're partnered with, Freedom Forever, guys, they've been around since 2011. They've done almost 160,000 installs to date. And guess what? They've done those installs in 36 countries and 36 states around the United States of America. I'm used to doing business worldwide. I keep saying countries. So you're looking at these states right here, guys. Michigan just moved over, right? So now they're actively installing. And so we're going to continue to grow. Maybe the next 3 to 6 months, maybe add another 5 to 6, states over there. So regardless of where you're at in the United States of America, guys, you can do business in the states that we do business in when it comes to solar as well as water insecurity. Okay. Now, when you look at, this slide here says, what do you see here? What I see here, guys, is not just a lot of opportunity because that's the obvious. What I see here is a lot of people who are actually paying for solar already, but they don't have solar panels on their roofs. Okay. And what do I mean by that? When you look at, if you're in California, by the way, which is where the main office is for the company, guys, if you go up the highway, you'll see in Vegas, you'll see solar farms. If you go up into Bakersfield, in California, you'll see solar farms, and those solar farms are owned by the utility companies. Guys, they are preparing one day to go full on solar. And guess what? You're actually paying it for them. You're actually funding that project. They're charging you a little bit of extra money every month, right? So they can crowd fund their solar project. So you should just go ahead and put them on your roof. Here in Texas, guys, in Albuquerque, Amarillo, Houston, Garland, Dallas, San Antonio, and Austin, guys, we have utility companies that own solar farms. And I've been telling all my friends and associates this, we're paying for these people's projects. They are using our money to crowdfund their next venture, right? Remember, it's the utility companies that don't want you to go solar right now. They want you to go solar later on with them. Just like you have countries and banks that didn't want you to deal with crypto, right? And now all of a sudden, all the banks got their coin. All of the countries now, all the countries have their coin, right? And so now it's okay to go crypto, and it's going to be even more okay. But It's the same thing here, guys. They're just basically blowing smoke, while they're getting themselves prepared so they can make that switch, okay, before you do. Now, when you look at people who have actually taken full advantage of what we have to offer, guys, when you look at our customers, we have a customer in California. You see the numbers prior to Freedom Forever and Encore Solar. They were paying $287 a month. Okay? Afterwards, sat down with an expert, $148 a month after solar, all right? And one day that will go away, right? And so that's cool. But this is the other thing. It's a win-win situation because they actually got a lower bill that they got locked in, right? Never to go up, one day to go away. And the people who actually brought the deal to the table and closed the deal made $6,400, $3,200 and $3,200. Okay. That's how it's supposed to be. Customer testimonial for Florida, $410 before solar, $290 after solar. And then the commission split, guys, on $8,200 is 41 and 41. The mentee is the person who originated the deal. The mentor is the person who actually did the back end work. Okay. And so as you can see, guys, this is basically a rejection proof type of situation that we found ourselves in because, as you can see there on the bottom in quotations, a solar sales presentation is not a presentation. It's an IQ test. Okay. And so let's see here. Next slide here. One moment here. Okay. So energy costs over time, guys, as we already know, there's natural inflation, right? And then you have manipulation, right? So over time, obviously, the cost of living goes up and the cost to do business goes up. But when you look at these people who are owning these companies and go back and look at how much money they charged you 5 years and 10 years ago, if you can find any of those old bills, you'll see even back in those days, they were charging you for more than just the electricity you use, right? They were charging you to maintain the grid, right? A 160-year-old grid has been around for a long time. It continues to break down. And guess what? They're going to continue to do that over the next 5, 10, 30 years, as they're going to continue to charge you, more than just, for what you use in your home. You're going to continue to be charged for them putting up new poles, them actually building solar farms, them actually cutting down trees and all kind of other things that they want you to pay for. So make sure that you put yourself in a position where you put a stop to it. Make sure you treat it like you treated your house. The house you live in, the house that you have a mortgage on, guys, you would never pay for that house for 30 years, right? Yeah, you would not, unless you're renting to own again. One day you plan on owning it, okay? And so when you look at your solar, it's the same thing with your electricity. Why would you pay for electricity at a higher price point, always increasing, never to go away one day when you can just own it one day? Okay. And so treat it like your home. Be very, very wise with your money. Remember, ignorance is only bliss until it messes with your money. Okay. So with that being said, let's go ahead and shift a little bit because talking about money, this man knows a lot about money. You guys know Warren Buffett. We're all familiar with him. And when you look at the quote that he has here, it says energy deregulation will be the largest transfer of wealth in history, says a guy that actually put $10 billion in clean energy. Put his money where his quote was, right? And so for me, I have a philosophy that I wouldn't take advice from people who I would trade places with. And this is definitely somebody I would trade places with financially. Okay. But the compensation plan, guys, is very lucrative and very generous. We get paid 7 different ways. And the first way that we get paid is, one, just by choosing this as a legitimate career, right? So a person who, like I said earlier, wants to just have a career in sales, part-time basis, make a six-figure or multiple six-figure income without recruiting and without it being network marketing, this is a legitimate career, right? And guess what? Things are changing where you don't have to go and beat somebody's door down. You can actually do most of your business, if not 100% of your business, from the phone and from the computer. I have not knocked on one door, guys. Don't plan on it, right? And so you have that choice. And then we have some people on here who they understand the power of sales forces and building a brokerage. We're going to show you how you can become a business owner and a brokerage owner and build a sales force. Okay. But talking about how we make money, your own efforts, just like Robert Kiyosaki said, YOE, your own efforts. The company says we will pay you handsomely for bringing deals to the table and making sure that those deals come to a resolution. Okay. So they pay 70% on a deal. And what I'll do is I'll use this one deal, it's $10,000, per install as a commission. I'll use this throughout the whole entire um, conversation about money. So because it's a round number. Okay, but $7,000 is the 7%, that's being paid out to the two people who did the deal. Now, the person who brought the deal to the table, guys, this is easy as one, two, three, right? One, pique a person's interest by giving them the benefits that I gave you earlier on in this conversation. Two, make sure that you get the actual bill, right? And then three, set the actual appointment, right? And so the one thing you don't want to do is answer any questions, right? Leave that to the expert because any questions that you answer them, it starts to become a presentation. They start to get their questions answered, and then you put them in a position where they feel like they have enough information to make a educated decision when they are not. Because what's going to happen is when you get that bill, you make that appointment, you're going to introduce them to a mentor. That mentor is going to have a 10-minute actual presentation with them guys and going to walk them through everything, right? When I say presentation slides, let them know what solar is all about, then that person is going to give them a tour of their roof with the solar panels, being applied on there based on AI because they have the address from the bill. They're going to show them, what type of solar panels they're going to be using, if a battery is needed, required, or whatever it is. They're going to go through that whole entire process. And then they're going to go through the financing, right? Give them the options. And then they're going to qualify them and seal the deal if that person and when that person decides to move forward. Remember, you can be present for that, but you do not want to interrupt them while they're doing it because they are the experts and you're there to actually learn. Okay. But when you become a mentor, you became a mentor by getting 3 sales with the mentor yourself, closing 5 deals on your own, and completing a company certification, basically watching a couple of videos and answering a couple of questions. Just want to make sure that you are efficient when it comes to doing business for our clientele. Okay? If we're going to refer people to you, we want to make sure that those people are in good hands. So then we put your name in lights. We add your name to a drop down box, and anybody who needs a mentor to help them close a deal, they can find you. Okay. So when you are a mentor, you can help others, become a mentor. And let's say you have 4 people per month become a mentor. That's 12 deals a month. On average, $3,500 per deal. That's $42,000 in commissions, $500,000 a year on a part-time basis. And when you look at Zig Ziglar here, you will get all you want in life, if you help enough people get what they want. Great quote by a great man, rest in peace. And for me, it's the same thing, guys. It's basically you put everybody else's family first. You and your family will never ever need anything. You'll never be last. Okay. And so the people who are out there building sales forces, the people who are out there introducing this to people, this is more than just a career for them, right? They opt to bring people to the table. Guys, this is where you go out here and you start to leverage the whole entire system. This is where you now start to override, every person you bring to the table, right? And so initially, everybody's a consultant when you come on in, and you get 20% on every individual sale, that the people you personally sponsor will make. So I saw Martha on here. Martha, if Martha turns around and enrolls me and I do a solar deal, in this example, commission being 10,000, remember that was $3,000 left in that transaction. 20% of that $3,000, guys, is $600, right? Martha got $600 for my deal and she wasn't around and she didn't close it, right? Say I do 5 deals, it's 3,000. Okay. Say she brought on coffee, right? And coffee did 5 deals. That's 10 deals, guys. If you do 10 deals in a 60-day window of time, you become a manager. Now Martha is getting 30% on our deal. So now Martha's getting 9 grand on me and coffee's deals. Now, Martha also will receive an override if Coffee or myself start to bring people in and they start to do deals. Okay. And as you can see, guys, the more and more your team grows, the sales force grows, your brokerage grows, right? What happens is now the more sales you can make, the more sales you have, the bigger the commission splits get, all the way up to 45%, 25% down in depth, and a 5% company-wide pool. Again, executive director and national director, guys, you become basically partners. You become shareholders. You now get paid on every solar deal that happens in the company. Okay. That's gotta stir something up in you, right? So as a manager though, a real easy example, 10 people personally in your team, you sponsored four, they do one deal, other six down the deck, they do a deal, $6,300, right? Now you do one deal, you do both sides of the deal because you brought it to the table and you close it. Okay, that's 7 grand plus that's $6,000. That's $13,300 per month. Okay. Now in a year is 150 grand. Double it up, guys. Everybody do two instead of one. Now you're $20,000 a month, $250,000 a year. Now, for me, everything is like as my wife likes to say, commonsensical, right? Where you know people are stuck in the past, and people want to have a brick and mortar business. And guys, there's nothing wrong with that. But if we talk about efficiency, we're talking about being able to maximize how much money you earn, and then also not be restricted to a location. Guys, this is the best way to open up a solar brokerage because if you go out here and pick a spot in any state, around the US, what's going to happen is you're going to be one out of the pocket, maybe 150, 200,000, $250,000, and then maybe 15 to 50 grand a month, depending on how you scale it or how you sustain it, right? Um, Guys, the people who invited you here, right, that actually have a business brokerage here with this company, they pay $200 to get to open up their company. And our overhead is $99 a month. It's a joke, right? And so we get 100% of everything that those company owners actually get. But guess what? In most cases, we probably make more money in our deals than the owners of those companies do. You say, well, how? They're owners. So are we. But when they do their deals or they have some third party company do their deals, guys, their commission splits are not as big as ours. They have a lot of overhead. I have none. I have none. And so they can't beat me. Okay. They can't beat you either. 1 second, please. So the reason why they can't beat us, guys, when you look at Freedom Forever, go back to our installer, right? The buying power, for our installer is very immense. We get a lot of things, deeply discounted because, like I said, we've done over 160,000 installs, right? So we pass those savings on to our customers, but that's also passed on to us in the form of bigger commissions. Our bottom line, our price point is lower than everybody else's out there. So you'll have a lot of companies out there now. What we're seeing is that solar companies who are traditional companies who do business in one state, two states, five states, right? Or two, three cities. They actually partner with us in our enterprise program. And guess what? They now have access to all 36 states just like we do, and they don't have to work as hard. We do all the back end work. Okay. So solar just makes sense. Water, alkaline water just makes sense. Security makes sense. But high ticket sales and business guys, it makes sense. Right. So if a person is wanting to sell it as a consultant, you want to have a career around it, just become a consultant. Okay. $199, $149 down, $49 a month. At that time, you're able to do as many sales as you want. As we have people doing 3 and 4 and 5 sales right now, we have several people who are already tracking a six and multiple six-figure annual income on a part-time basis with the sales that they're doing right now. Sorry. Now, as a business builder, as a broker, a person who wants to open up their own company and be able to do big business and also receive residual income and also get some other perks and benefits that we have included here, that's the builder. Okay. The builder brokerage, guys, is $199 and $99 a month, right? And if you bring on four partners, guys, the $99 goes away. Now, part of the benefits that you get with that membership, guys, is the Smart Money Club. So I'm going back to where what I talked about earlier. The owner has a vision that we want people to be, able to speak the language of economics. We want people to be financially, intelligent. Like we really want you to know how to master your credit, business, and personal. We want you to be able to have these 800, 850 credit scores. We want you to be able to go get money anytime you want to. We want to make sure that when you do go get money, though, you go get it from yourself by being your own bank. Make sure your taxes are tight, right? And making sure that all these things that you're seeing here You don't have to go, to somebody that you met on Instagram to get it. Somebody that you saw a video on, on YouTube, and now all of a sudden you're paying them $299 for the initial program, and then if you want more information, you got to pay them 2,500, 5,000, $10,000. Guys, that's not how this works. You actually have access to all of this stuff, when you become a business owner. We want you to be a successful business owner. Not only do you have all access to all of this stuff, you can actually give this stuff away to you and your family. And so this is a beautiful thing, guys. So Smart Money Club is just simply amazing. And there are going to be some financial opportunities tied to the Smart Money Club as well. Okay. So when you look at the membership, again, the build membership, this is where you start to take advantage of the perks and benefits like restaurants, retailers, and travel providers. For all of our foodies, we have over 50,000 restaurants and a lot of high-end steakhouses as well. Here in Houston, I know I saw Ruth Chris, I saw Texas de Brazil. I saw a couple other ones. Again, I love, steakhouses. So whatever you love, though, is going to be in there. Now, 150,000 retailers for people who like to shop and people who like activities. And so if you're a parent and your kids like the bouncy rooms, or you like to go to the movies, you just like shopping for clothes, guys, or other items, 150,000 retailers that you can go and participate in and get those discounts. And then traveling, I'm a travel guy. I geek out over traveling. Okay, I just want to see everything that my creator put here for me to see. That's beautiful, gorgeous, and something I can take a picture in front of. Right, I just want those experiences. And I can just tell you, when you actually go through that thing and just go to some of your and I challenge you, go through it, find some of your favorite spots, some of your bucket list places, and look at how cheap these things are. I went to Vegas, stayed at the Venetian, one of my favorite hotels, because they have huge suites. Every room is a suite. Saved $28 a night at that hotel, and the resort fee was $25 a night. So basically, they all set. Anything helps, right? Stayed at the Hilton LAX in LA and saved $31 a night for 6 nights, $186 at that stay. And we went to Cancun, and the room that we stayed in Cancun, swim up patio and everything else, we would have saved $317 if we had known about this program before we got to this company. Okay. So those are the benefits that come with the business brokerage. Now, let me share with you the residual income that's tied to it as well. Because again, this is the part where you're bringing on and building a sales force. When you're bringing on and building a sales force, guys, that $99 a month, it works for you in a multitude of ways. It doesn't just give you all of the support on the back end, all of your systems, your back offices, and everything you need to actually be a successful business person, trainings and everything. It also creates a residual income for you, by virtue of subscriptions. Now, this is where I want you, to now just channel me for a second. I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to say here as I wrap this up, as we're done. But this is the part that I want you to get in your spirit before we leave. Remember, I went back and I said, you want to have a company that, when it comes to things that people can't do without, like electric, water, gas. Remember, those are three things all of you guys participate in. All of you have a consistent bill every month with those three things, which means that you're a part of somebody else's subscription-based business. Okay. And so when you look at the most successful people in the world right now, a lot of them are now coming into the subscription-based arena because they see that's where the most secure lifestyle is, right? So give an example. Netflix. A lot of you guys have Netflix, if not all of you guys have Netflix. 260 million subscriptions is what the CEO literally benefits his security, from every year. Not regardless of what they sell, 260 million subscriptions. Spotify, 230 million subscriptions. HBO, 100 million subscriptions. Amazon Prime, many of you have an Amazon Prime account, guys. 200 million subscriptions that Jeff Bezos has. They sell everything. He overrides on everything that they sell, but he has 200 million subscriptions for his security and the security of the company and the employees that are in that company. Guys, they're only going to get bigger, okay? Because the subscriptions are going to grow. Now, in this example, you're looking at the amount of subscriptions, or what the amount of money you can make with these subscriptions, okay? And as I was talking, I know a lot of you who can count, you were watching this, right? Anywhere from $500 a month all the way down to $250,000 per month just on the subscriptions alone, right? Now, think about this for a second as I wrap up. Okay. Say you're a person who you may have let's say $4,000 a month lifestyle between your home and two cars, right? Mortgage, say 3,000, two cars, $500 a piece. Imagine being able to go to work, working your 40, 50 hour a week job, right, and career, and not having to spend any of that, because you have $4,000 a month coming in on residual income, right, to offset those things. And you can take that money and save it, take that money and invest it, do whatever you want to do. Okay. There's no cap on how much money you can make based on subscriptions, all the way down to $250,000 a month. So, with that being said, guys, wrap this thing up, put a bow on it. What I strongly suggest you do, want to get back with the person that invited you out. Tell them thank you, first of all, because the individual did not have to, inform you of what we got our hands on. Okay. Two, go ahead and get yourself a builder's pack. It's $199, investment one time, $99 a month, right? And some of you guys this weekend just passed, you spent $199 on something that's not going to yield you a return, right? And so here, give yourself access to all the membership purchases and benefits, give yourself access to the Smart Money Club, which will pay for it itself. The savings on trips will pay for it. But guess what else will pay for it? The taxes. Guys, when you actually have a subscription on a business or on a company, you actually get a chance to write off most of your life, even if you're not making money in that company. Okay. So imagine you having $100,000 a year job. And when you pay taxes with no write-offs, you really only make about $67,500 because they're going to take $37,500 away from you in taxes. Okay. You have a business like this, even if you have just the intent, guys, to make a profit, you can write off, most of the stuff that you're already doing. Therefore, you get 50% of that stuff back, guys. So 50% of the money they took away, you get a chance to keep. So now instead of 67,000, you're bringing home 82,500, right? And so it's just how the very economically savvy people think. Millionaires and billionaires, they think a little bit different, right? And so I invite you to come on board with us, do business with us, and start a future with us. And so get back with the person that invited you out here today, guys. Again, get yourself started. Look forward to working with you guys. Have a great time. See you at the top. Bye-bye.
Wow, I see you made it to the end. Click the subscribe button if you want more valuable content to increase your economic IQ, level up in life, and get notified every time we go live in the Business Mall and the Foresight Business Academy. Hey, thank you for watching.